Welcome to Shakespeare FC, The Words, a 5-minute journey into the individual bits of language that were forged, fletched, hewn, and hammered, and sometimes crowbarred, into existence by our brilliant and witty Warwickshirean wordsmith, or, as you become more familiar, Uncle Will. I'm your host, Kari Marshall. Today we undertake the arduous journey into the regicidinal realm of Uncle Will's tale of Scottish witchcraft, ghosts, and marching forests.
If we should fail.
We fail? Well, screw your courage to the sticking place and we'll not fail. Yes, it is up to the windswept heaths and highlands where we take a stab at uncovering the first use of assassination. Now, of course, the killing of kings, queens, emperors, and even pharaohs. The Egyptian pharaoh Teti, by the way, is widely believed to be the first example of political assassination, way back in the 23rd century BCE, which is some 2,000 years before Brutus and his mates used Julius Caesar as a pincushion. On my birthday, by the way. But VIP evisceration has been well established throughout history, and the name assassin, applying to those who undertook the bloody business, seems to have cropped up from the shadows between the 11th and 13th centuries, depending on who you ask. But more of that later. For now, to Scotland. After a fierce battle, Macbeth and his bestie brother-in-arms, Banquo, stumble upon 3 witches on the heath who deliver prophecies that Macbeth will become not only the Thane of Cawdor, but also king, while Banquo gets a cryptic promise of royal descendants. Meanwhile, King Duncan, pleased as punch over the victory, honors Macbeth by granting him the title of, you guessed it, the Thane of Cawdor, and suggests that they all head back to Macbeth's castle to celebrate. Macbeth quickly writes a letter to his wife to get the fine linen out, and also tells her of the witch's prophecy. Lady Macbeth, upon reading the epistle, decides her husband might lack the murderous, gore-spilling gumption required to seize the crown, and promptly volunteers to handle all the finer details. Meanwhile, the doomed Duncan arrives at the castle, cheerfully commenting on its lovely atmosphere, blissfully ignorant that he has just stepped into the medieval equivalent of a death trap. But when we find Macbeth at the beginning of Act 1, Scene 7, he's starting to rethink his plan.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we'd jump the life to come.
Ah, the pesky, even-handed justice. But Lady Macbeth comes in and, after some very graphic illustration of her intent, convinces our worthy Thane that he must transform himself from gracious host to grave assassin to gain the crown. No spoilers, but it does not work out well for the ambitious couple. But as promised, assassin. That descriptor has a very interesting origin in, of all places, the mountains of what is now Lebanon. As the story goes, during the Crusades, there was a fanatical Ismaili sect that had the reputation of murdering opposition leaders. But they were also purveyors of the finest of herbal intoxicants. They were known as Hashashin, which is the origin for the word hashish. But as the legend of their killing spread, the Hashashin transformed into assassini in Italian, and subsequently into assassin in Old French, and hassassis in Middle English, and subsequently assassin. And William then took the step of describing what an assassin does by tacking on ation. So that makes me an X-Plan. And that's my explanation. Well, alas and alack, my friends, that is all we have time for. Join us again next time for another hopefully informative journey into the mind of Uncle William. I'm Kari Marshall. Farewell until next time.
Shakespeare FC is a production of WGTE Public Media and is sponsored in part by a generous donation from the Cowie Family Fund. All previous episodes are available at wgte.org/sfc or wherever you get your podcasts.